Hey guys, so this is a little behind the scenes of what it was like to play the Upside with Lindsey Stirling in Cincinnati. Woo! So, my day started with me getting ready. I practiced. My mom got a small little clip, like a 1-second clip of me practicing, so there's a little bit of that. And then we drove down to Riverbend and we got in touch with Eyink, her tour manager. He was super great. We got to go backstage. He led us there. And right off the bat, when we got backstage, Lindsey was already rehearsing for sound check, and she was up on a hoop rehearsing Shatter Me. I did not get a video of that rehearsal because I was just so awestruck, and it was very cool. But you'll get a little clip of that later. So we got to see her rehearse a few songs, including Crystallize, where she was going back and forth on that harness thing. It was very cool. And we got to see kind of where her violins were. They all had their names, and her violin tech guy was making sure each one was ready for when she needed it. We got to see kind of like the set list and how they had everything organized. Very cool. And then it was time for me to rehearse with Lindsey, and she was super nice. She remembered me from 4 years ago when I met her for the first time. It was at a concert in Toledo, Ohio. Me and my friend Mary did a cover of Christmas Come On, and we went to that concert in costume, and Lindsey saw our video and invited us backstage to meet her, so that was cool. And she remembered me because I posted that photo the day before this whole Cincinnati thing, and she thought it was such a cool, fun, full circle moment. She said, "You must have really been manifesting this, weren't you?" And I said, yeah. So we ran through it twice. I actually, instead of taking a solo at the end, I decided I wanted to harmonize with her, and no one had done that with her yet, so it was really cool. She loved it, which is awesome. It was super fun. Very cool getting to harmonize with my violin hero. So we ran through the song twice, and then it was time for some pictures, and it was great. I got to play her violin, actually. That is Cleopatra. She bedazzled it herself. I used my own bow because I wanted something a little familiar, because playing someone else's violin is kind of crazy, but it was really cool. And I actually had some gifts for her. My hand stayed perfectly steady while I was playing, both in rehearsal and in the show, but when it came to me giving her gifts, that is when my hands started shaking and I could not stop. So Lindsey, I'm sorry I was so shaky. So I know that Lindsey loves Lucille Ball, so I drew her a picture of Lucille Ball playing violin. She did not expect anything like that, so she loved it. And I also gave her a copy of my brand new EP, so I hope she likes it. And then it was time for the show, so Walk Off the Earth performed. They were awesome. I've loved them forever, and it was really cool getting to see them perform, especially with Lindsey and with the little kiddos, and they did Somebody That I Used to Know, which is, of course, the cover that got them real famous, so that was really cool to see them do that live. And then it came time for Lindsey's show. So here we go. There she is on the hoop. That is what she was doing when we walked in backstage for that rehearsal, for that sound check. It was really cool seeing her up there. And she did some classical stuff, which was really cool. Let's see. Oh, there's Luna. We love Luna. I got to meet Luna when I met Lindsey 4 years ago. That was cool. And, of course, Lindsey has so many cool things she does in her shows, including this magic trick. I love that part of the show. And then, during Moon Trance was when I had to run backstage, or run to meet Eyink to go backstage. So, this little clip is the tail end of Moon Trance from the backstage perspective. It was cool seeing that. And after Moon Trance was Roundtable Rival. I did not get a chance to record that because I was trying to make sure I was calm, because the next song was The Upside. But Ryan, her guitar player and keyboard guy, when he was getting ready to come out for Roundtable Rival, he gave me a fist bump, and that was really cool. So now comes time for the big moment, and she introduced me. It was cool. And I did my little bit, then we did it back and forth, and then we did it together, and we harmonized, and it was super fun. Very cool, super surreal experience. It was insane playing in front of that big of a crowd. I have never played in front of that kind of size crowd before, so it was neat. I did not look at the crowd until like right after the performance. The entire time I was playing, I'm like, look at Lindsey, look at my fingers, look at Lindsey, look at my fingers, because I did not want to mess up, but I wanted to make sure I was just in that moment with her. So my entire first person memory of this moment is just Lindsey's face in my fingers. So we finished, we hugged, it was so fun. I of course waved to Ryan and Drew, and they were just awesome. It was cool being on stage with them as well. And then we got to watch the rest of the show. So there's the final version of Crystallize. And then, of course, she had some members of Walk Off the Earth sing with her various points through the show. That was really cool. I love when they do that. And then she ended the show with Cashmere, her new cover. So that was really, really cool. So it was such a cool experience. I will never take this for granted. This is such an amazing thing. And honestly, a dream come true. And here's some little photos. There's me, my mom, and my sister. My mom and my sister got to meet Lindsey as well. Some more family members who were there. My sister and I, our first violin teacher, she was in the audience, which was really, really sweet. And some teachers from where I grew up. A few other teachers were actually in the audience too. Those are the two that I spotted on the way in though. So it was such a really cool experience, and I am still not over it. It's just insane, and I consider myself very lucky to have been a part of this. So a million thanks to Lindsey forever. Love you.